Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be discussing the root word called as Theo or The, that is God. So this word has been originated from the Greek language. Now, the first word, theist. T-H-E, The means altogether God. Now, the suffix ist is a person. So generally, any person who believes in God can be generally considered as a theist. A person who believes in God. Next we have atheist. Now what is this atheist? If we decode this word over here, we have A, that means no. T means God. Ist is a noun, that's altogether a person. Atheist is a person who does not believe in God. Who does not believe in God, and that particular person, we are calling him as atheist. Next word, theogamy. Now what is this theogamy? Theo is altogether God, gamy, and whenever if you come across a word called as gamy, that is altogether marriage. For example, I said monogamy, one marriage. Bigamy, two marriages. Polygamy, many marriages. So gamy means marriage over there. Now here I said theogamy. Theogamy means Theo is God, that means altogether it's God's marriage. Theogamy is very simply God's marriage can be. Next we have theopathy. Now what is this Theo? Theo is a God altogether. Pati is altogether feeling. Pati means feelings over here. That means feelings towards gods. Feelings towards God. So very simply what we can say, theopathy can be intense devotion to God. Very simply if we write it down, intense devotion to God. Next we have theolatry. Now what is this theolatry? Theo means God, latry means worship or praise. So worship or praise over there. Now I said theolatry, that means altogether worshipping God. Worshipping God. So we have done a exclusively video for the word called as latry. Just have a look into that video also, and I would be uploading this video in the playlist. Okay, in the root words playlist over there, you can have a look of this latry word also over there. We will see the next set of words. Monotheist. So mono means one or single. The is God, ist is a person. So monotheist is generally a noun altogether. So a believer of one God. A believer of one God. Theology. Theo is God, logy is altogether study over there. Now what is this theology? Study of God. So there would be certain colleges where theology would be taught for Muslims, for all the religions. Generally, theology education institutions would be there where their particular religion scriptures would be taught over there. Next we have theologist. Theo is God over here, log is study, and next ist is a person. Now who is a theologist? Theologist is a person who is well versed in religious books. Who is well versed in religious books. So that person can be generally considered as the theologist. Next we have theocracy. Theo is God, cracy is altogether government by. Government by God. Government by God. So what does this government by God mean actually? If a particular country is being ruled by the phrases of their own religious book, that country can be generally considered as a theocratic country. So certain countries would be ruled by the Quran phrases, certain countries would be ruled by the Bible phrases. So those countries can be generally considered as the theocratic countries altogether. Next we have theocentric. Theo is God over here, centric is center. Theocentric means assuming God as the center of universe. Assuming God as the center of universe. So this can be altogether theocentric. Next word we will see theophobia. So generally Theo is God and phobia is altogether fear. So fear of God. we have done a particular video, a dedicated video on phobia words, okay, and all these videos would be kept in the playlist. Just have a look at these videos, okay. So fear of God can be the theophobia. Next we have polytheist. Poly means many or multiple, many or multiple. Next here, the is God, ist is a person. So polytheist is multiple gods. For example, if a person is believing in multiple gods, then we can say him as a polytheist. We can say that particular person as. Next we have theomania. Theo is altogether God over here, and mania. Mania is crazy. So crazy, or now let's make it as more precise. It's foolish. Theomania, being crazy on God. Okay, being crazy for God. So crazy or mania can be something overly enthusiastic, over enthusiastic, and if you literally see the meaning, it can be something like foolish. So being crazy for God, okay, some people would be very intense, with intense devotion, they would be doing certain mental inactivities. So that can be the theomania. Next we have theogony. Theo is altogether God over here, next to goni. Now what is this goni? So we have a word called as gonads. Okay, gonads would be a part of the biology subject over there. Gonads are the male gonads and the female gonads. Generally will give birth. For example, I said goni. Now what is this goni altogether? So goni is altogether genesis or production, or let's make it as birth. So that can be something regarding the goni over there. Now what is this theogony? Theogony is nothing but birth of God. Birth of God over there. Next we have theomorphic. So theo can be altogether God over here, and morphic and morphology, that's altogether forms or shapes. We have a subject called as morphology. So morphology is a subject where the students would be learning about different forms and shapes of plants and animals, something like that. For example, if I say morphology of a plant. Now, plant has how many types? For example, I said morphology of a root. So root are of how many different types and shapes? For example, I said tap root system, adventitious root system, next to fibrous root system. All these are the different forms of the root over there. That can be the morphology of root. Now here I said theomorphic. That means altogether the multiple forms of God. The multiple forms of God. Okay, multiple forms of God altogether it can be. Now, theomorphic is the multiple forms of God. That means, what does that literally mean? So God will have many avatars. So that can be, avatars can be the multiple forms of God over there. So this can be something regarding the word called as Theo or The over there. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.